Hi guys, I'm Oliver and I'm 15 years old. Today I'll share with you my $100 million retirement plan using this retirement calculator. Stick with me here and let me show you how I'm going to retire with $100 million and how I'm going to die with $359 million to give away to children and charities and help the world. Let me start with my numbers here, and then afterwards we'll start with a more likely person, like around 35 years old, and look at how you could retire also with millions of dollars on your bank balance. I would like to retire at age 70 because I'm 15 years old and I think I'll be able to live to age 100. My current savings, this is what I have on my investments right now. My annual savings, I'm a kid, I save around $5,000 a year. That is from my job that I have cleaning, and that is from my beekeeping business. I make between 1,000 or 2,000 pounds of honey every year, so I sell that and make a bit of money doing that. That's my second income stream. That's presents, Christmas gifts, birthday things that I save up. Another factor here, another one is YouTube. Summer, that is my aim, that I can start earning money from YouTube, and that is also going to be about $150, $200 a month from that, so that maybe would increase this, but this is just with my current savings. Current annual income, I don't pay any taxes because I am under the age of 18 and I can use my, in Denmark it's called a free card. It's just basically an amount that you can make without paying taxes. So I'll put in here my annualized returns, and that is going to be 12.5%, because I always, when I buy stocks, look at this is my desired annual return that I put in. I don't buy stocks if I can't get this return, so that is what I'm going to get. You can go and watch my other videos and you'll see why that is. But I'm going to put inflation at 3.5%, because over the past 20 years we have had an extremely low inflation, like 2%, but before that there was a little bit more, so maybe we are going to have a bunch of hyperinflation or something now. But in average it's like around 3.5%. So that is the inflation. The annualized returns during retirement, 5%. This is the funny thing, because my increase in annual savings is probably going to increase rapidly if I get an education here in Denmark, which I am kind of thinking about doing. I'll be able to save a whole bunch of money, so this will increase pretty rapidly. Let's just put that at a 7%, because normally that would be like a 2% annual increase of savings just to cover your inflation, and maybe 3 or 4% because you get raises and you get better at doing your job. But because I'm so young and I haven't even got a real job yet, a profession yet, let's put that at 10 and let's see what that equates to. Essentially here you say, what do you want to retire off of in percentage of your income? So basically I right now save $5,000 a year. I definitely don't want to live off $5,000. So I would say at least $50,000 a year, so that's 1,000%. Let's just start with this, and if you have $100 million at your retirement, you're probably going to live off more than $50,000 a year. But I just want to show you this. 15, my current savings, that is with 1 year I put in $5,000, and with the growth of the investment, that brings me up next year to 21,000, almost 22,000. And basically it continues like this. So this is my increase in savings with the inflation and the 10% increase in annual savings baked in. So this looks pretty insane, because if I go up here, right, it looks like I'm going to have to save $1 million in 1 year when I'm 70. Not very likely, right? But have to remember that is with the inflation, and inflation is a big thing here. But yeah, so let's put the inflation here to 0, but let's subtract that from the annual return. Save 200k. That is more like that sounds like a lot too, but let's go down here to when I'm 30, I'm going to have to save 13,000, which is very likely for me, especially with the career that I'm thinking about getting. I'm making like 120,000 at least a year. Probably going to be a lot higher these years, and then the last year maybe that looks a bit high, but that balances out. It's pretty hard to do because it's going to grow at different pace, because I am a kid right now, I'm a teen. So essentially if we subtract the inflation, what I'm going to be left off with at retirement is around $25 million. That is in today's money. Let's say that, you know, you just subtract inflation out of the gains and out of the, you know, it doesn't tear away on your money. So basically at my deathbed, I'll have $108 million. And that is with these 30 years of retirement, only subtracting 50K a year. So let's say I actually want 500K a year. That is going to bring my money down to a little bit less, but still, I'm happy about living on 500K a year for my entire retirement, and still having like $80 million to give to charities and to give to my kids and to give away to people that I like, basically. So that is my entire that is my retirement, guys, and that is why I'm not as worried personally. I'm not worried about my retirement because I started at this early age. Because if you bring this age up, guys, 10 years later, so 25, which a lot of people do, I'm going to have pretty much half the amount. I'm going to have like 40% less money because I started 10 years later. This is the power of compound interest. My first million took me 25 years to make with these assumptions. My next million took me only 6 years. And then the next million after that took me only 2 years. And then the next million after that took me like 3 years. And then the next million after that took like 1 year. And then it just stacks, guys. This is the power of compound interest. Here it goes up 6 million. Here it goes up for every year with 1 million. 6 million, 7 million, 8 million, 9 million, 10 million, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, it skipped 13 because it goes faster here. So that is the power of compound interest, guys. That is just to say, if you start early, you can have a really chill life and retire with 100 million or 10 million, whatever. For you guys out there, imagine you're around 35 years old. This is just my guess. You're probably going to live to a little bit less, 85, let's say that. And then you're also going to retire a little bit earlier. You have 30 years for your money to grow. You have current savings of 50 grand. You might around 60 grand a year you can save. You're just going to cover inflation. Or you're going to get a 1%, because we don't want inflation in here. You're going to have a 1% increase. That is with your profession. Let's say you're a doctor, right? You get a little bit more as the years go on. You have an annualized return here of 9.5. During retirement, you're going to get 5%. That's going to be a bit less actually, because we have inflation out. And inflation is 0. Your current annual savings, current annual income before taxes is 60 grand. Let's see for you. Yes, you have enough for retirement, guys. You have as much that you can retire with around $5 million, and you can die. You can die with $500,000, giving that away to your children. So that is living off of 300K every year. I imagine you probably don't need that. You could probably actually live on the same. You're gonna have 7 million to pass along to your kids. And let's add in inflation here to show you the numbers. 3.5, and then add this up to 5. So this is inflation, and this is why it skews the numbers, guys. You're going to, retire with 10 million, die with 13. So that is why it skews the numbers, inflation. Play around with these calculators. You can find them for free online, and start stressing less about retirement. If you can cut back a little bit on your spending, get a side hustle, get an extra source of income. Most people think that it's really hard, but most people don't know about investing. And most people don't know that you could invest in individual stock, make a stock portfolio of 30 stocks, get an annualized return of 12.5%, including inflation, and retire off $10 million. Even if you start at 40. That is the power of investing and compound interest. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope to see you in my next one. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.